Success is the byproduct of doing deep inner work. It's not vice versa. We don't become happy because we become successful. We become happy and then we become successful. It's the only way. Let's just talk about what would happen if you just absolutely stopped caring what everyone else thought about you. When you made a decision to go all in on you and to just step into the next year with the most courage you've ever had, just brave as you could possibly be, without giving any cares about what anyone else thinks. What would that look like? What comes up within you when you hear me say that? How do you feel? Do you feel, oh, contracted? Do you feel really expansive? Is it a bit of both? Like, yes, 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 I want that. I want to be seen. I want to be visible. I want to step into my true authentic self and put myself out there and allow things to flow for me. And oh, then the contraction comes. What is it for you? Where are you at on that scale of open, 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 expansive, and contracted and contracted? And it's okay if you're going back and forth. It's okay if that's something that's ebbing and flowing, because that's what life is. We ebb and we flow. So what we have to do is we have to get to this place where we understand our expansive nature, and then we are really clear on what makes us contract and why are we contracting? What is that safe contraction? What's that shell that we put up, and what is it protecting us from? So you have to ask yourself, one, what do you want this next year to look like? What do you want your career, your business, your personal life, your relationships? What do you want? And get really clear on what that looks like for you, that experience, how it feels in your body, what shows up for you. And then as that arises and as you start to embody that, that's when you start to continue to explore. Now, I want this, I have this big dream. I want to experience this. Oh, but I don't think I can have it. It's not meant for me. Now that's where you start to explore. We don't judge, we don't shame, we don't criticize, we don't stay stuck in those cycles. That's very outdated. You're not in that path anymore. You're in the expansive, exploratory curiosity. That's the path you're on. So why do I feel like that's not meant for me? What belief is attached to that? What story do I believe about myself? Who told me that? Where did I even get this story? What emotion do I have with this? And you're starting to explore, how is it keeping me safe? That's a big story you're going to have to ask for yourself. How is that contraction keeping you safe? Because if we look at that visual, it's a shell. It's a part that stops us. It protects us. And so it served us in some way. So we get to ask the question, what a beautiful relationship to be able to ask the question of, but does it keep me safe? Do I still need that shell? Oftentimes you're going to find, especially when it's in our awareness, that we don't need it anymore. That it's not a shell that we need. It's not protection that we need. And so we can begin to dissolve it, one, just with awareness, but then with action. So why are you keeping me safe? And do I need that anymore? And if I want to step into that next level, visible, whatever that is for you, how can I shed that? What's the new story that needs to be created? Because there always has to be something new. If we had a belief, we had it for a reason. That belief kept us safe. It kept us where we needed to be, right? It protected us. So now, what do we need? What's the story you need to step into? Is it that you're powerful? Is it that you're capable? What is that story? And then as you step into that story, what you'll find, which can be really frustrating for people, and this is where they just ditch it because it's not working because I don't fully believe it. I'm not fully embodied in my capability. Well, it's a process. So then, oh, I step into I'm capable. And then boom, 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 you get hit all over and that shell comes back. I told you you weren't capable. You weren't able to do this. You're never going to be successful. Success isn't for people like you. And you're definitely not going to be wealthy because wealth is not for you. Oop, 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 contract, contract, contract. So instead of the contraction, we can say, oh, that's an interesting thought. Why do I believe that? Where did that come from? How is it serving me? And do I still need it? It's just a process. We don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. We just have to take our awareness and then question it. You question everything in your life. You question all of your thoughts. You question your feelings. Why is this here? What is it showing me? And can I change it? If it's not your desired outcome, can it be changed? Yes, it can, because we're the creators of our own reality. So you can change that. So shell comes up, questions get fired. And then what you'll find is that you'll begin to stop having to ask the questions because you're just flowing through life. And that protection doesn't have to show up because you're willing to stay in the expansive state. You're willing to step into that space where things are just flowing to you and you're able to receive them. And that comes from doing this work. It comes from questioning everything. What would your life be like if you stepped into higher levels of questioning for yourself? And so what that does is it changes your relationship with yourself because you get to know yourself more. You get to know why you get triggered. You get to know why you get happy. You get to know why all of this is happening. And so you're stepping into life with such higher levels of awareness. And you're allowing yourself to become that version of you want to become. You're stepping into that and you're receiving. And as we know, success is a byproduct of doing deep inner work. It's not vice versa. We don't become happy because we become successful. We become happy and then we become successful. It's the only way. And so if you're not focused on that, you're not growing at the rate that you possibly can. And you're not going to enjoy the success along the way. So we have to think, what do I want? Ask yourself, put yourself out there, allow yourself to feel that version of you that has achieved these goals that you have, that is living the life that you're dreaming of. And then we're going to reverse engineer that. And what the heck is coming up for you? What stops you? What are the beliefs that arise to the surface that get in your way from experiencing that and embodying that? And then we start to question, and then we start to rewire, and then we start to reframe, and then we step into that embodiment of that future version of us. It's a really beautiful process, but you can't get there unless you're questioning it. You can't get there unless you're willing to get uncomfortable. And if you're not willing to leave these stories behind and rewrite them. It's a really powerful concept. And I would love to know, what stories are you rewriting so you can step into that really empowered and embodied version of yourself that you're dreaming of.